What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. We are here with the New Year's Sugo Fest, titled The Memorable Scene Super Sugo Fest, okay? This is the Sugo Fest that I've been saying to all of you guys, this is the one that you guys should be waiting for, okay? This Sugo Fest is going to be debuting on the 27th of December at 1900 PST time, featuring Goldie, Roger, and Whitebeard, and also Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. This Sugo Fest looks amazing. However, we're not talking about the actual steps today. I want to talk about the actual breakdown of all these brand new characters for you guys, because that's the most important information that you guys are excited to hear. I will make a separate video talking about this Sugo Fest in terms of the step structure. I might actually wait until we get the breakdown of all of the like the actual characters that are available in each part to kind of determine which part is the best. But let's get into it, guys. Let's start breaking down all of these brand new characters. Let's start off with the rare recruits first. Let's start slow and get into the big boys later on, okay? Let's start off with the Rayleigh and Gaban character. This is not a dual unit, actually. Sai / a striker. The special ability reduces attack down and special bind by 5 turns and gives your slasher and striker characters a 2x orb boost for 2 turns. A pretty weird special ability. I was kind of expecting a bit more, but I mean 5 turns of attack down and special bind removal is never bad, and an orb boost for 2 turns is also okay as well. And you guys will see later on in terms of the units that are going to be here. A low orb boost is not going to be a problem. We'll talk about that in a moment. In terms of crewmate effect, they do resist 5 turns of special bind at least, which is good to see. And they, unfortunately, they don't have a really good support effect either. Would have been nice if they gave them a unique ability as a support. In terms of their rumble stuff, let's have a look. Their passive slasher characters, level 5 health, level 5 crit percent, nothing special there. 27 CT for level 7 speed, level 7 attack, and 2000 medium range healing. For 27 CT, not the best. Honestly, I was expecting a bit more from these rare recruits. I'd probably rate them maybe a 7 out of 10. You know, they're not a bad. Utility's really good, though. And it is a Rayleigh and Gaban unit at the end of the day. The next rare recruit we're looking at is Shanks and Buggy. I know my girl Karissa is going to go crazy for this unit. Shanks and Buggy. Int, slasher, striker character. 12 turn cooldown, reduces all enemies' health by 10%. Reduces bind and paralysis by 4 turns, and it also will double your slasher and striker character's attack for 1 turn, and makes dex, strength, and quick slots beneficial to your striker and slasher characters for 3 turns. This is a bit of a weird special. I mean, like, the utility, why not just up it to 5? I don't understand why. And the matching slots that are beneficial for 3 turns, why not just make Sign Int beneficial as well? Now, I do know Goldie, Roger, and Whitebeard do make them beneficial as a captain, but you gotta make them usable for other teams. Like, I don't understand why they just didn't go the extra mile for this character. I don't know, I think they kind of missed the mark with this unit. In terms of crewmate effect, they do reduce all characters' paralysis by 1 as a sub. That's a really good effect, and not too many characters actually have that. Really nice effect. Unfortunately, for their support effect, not great either. And then for their rumble stuff, let's see. They give slasher characters level 5 attack, and fighter class enemies defense down level 2. Ooh, that's kind of juicy. I like that, I like that. 25 CT, enemies in a medium range horizontal for 1700 fixed damage. All enemies attack down level 5. And speed down level 5. Okay, like, he's not bad. He's definitely better in PvP than Rayleigh, in my opinion. That's not bad at all. And 25 cooldown for his specials, like, pretty decent. Unfortunately, I feel like their actual special ability in regular content is much to be desired. Probably rated maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Could have been a little bit better. But let's get to the big boys, okay? Let's start off with Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. Man, this character is great, and as you guys can see, he does indeed have Final Tap. So both of these brand new characters have Final Tap, and this is the first dual unit that has Final Tap, by the way. Let's start off with Luffy. So Luffy is going to be a strength fighter free spirit with a captain ability that will reduce his own special charge time by 4 turns at the start of the quest. Also boost the crew's attack by 4.75, 1.5 health. Now, if he is your captain, specials that are applied to a certain type or a certain class will apply to the whole crew. That is crazy, right? Like, in a situation, right, if you've got a special that boosts driven characters' attack, it works for all characters. And the first thing that comes to mind, right, even like the superclass Doflamingo that just came out, right? His special ability, full border matching slots, and a 2.25 attack and orb boost to driven, that works for all characters now if this character is your captain. Like, just think of how crazy that actually is. And that's just one example. People are going to come up with so many examples moving down the line. I can't wait to see, like, my man Subconti. He's going to go crazy with this unit. This is nuts. However, it says that it excludes specials that apply to certain positions, rarities, cost, or apply to itself. So specials that are very restrictive to only like one type of unit, those won't work. It's only if like boost X character's attack by, you know, a certain value, whether it be a class or a color, that will work for all characters if he's your captain. He also gives you 1,000 healing at the end of the turn. Plus he's free spirit, so you can run this guy and the Liberal Hind, so that's 2,000 and an extra 1,000 from auto healing as well. So 3,000 healing at the end of the turn is crazy. I mean, double Luffy as well. That's 4,000 healing at the end of the turn, 1.5 health. Just a great all-round captain effect. And remember, this is a dual unit, and this is the solo captain effect. Being a 4.75, just incredible stuff. And then you've got the other side of things, which is the Straw Hat Pirates, who are a Dex fighter free spirit instead. And their captain effect is essentially the same, except that the multipliers are a bit different. Instead of being 4.75 to all characters, it's 4.5, but if you've got a matching slot, it goes to 5 times. So for a solo unit in a dual unit to be up to a 5 times captain is insane. Just so good. And then, of course, their dual form, we'll talk about that in a moment. But then you've got their special ability, which it is a high cooldown, 16 turns. But you got to remember, if he's the captain, reduces his cooldown by 4, goes down to -6 if he's got the -2 cooldown from sockets. So it's respectable at least. But 300 times their attack in typeless damage to all enemies. They change all slots, including block, into rainbow slots. Hello? If the crew has none or only one beneficial effect applied to them, it will give you 2 times attack, 2 times all boost, and a 2 times color affinity boost for 2 turns. And also 0.8 chain boost as well. And then you cannot add any other beneficial effects the turn you activate that effect of the special. But there is actually an additional effect where it says if you have already 2 or more beneficial buffs when you activate their special, it's going to lock your slots for 2 turns and extend the duration of any of your damage boosting effects by 1. So whether it be an attack boost, all boost, color affinity, I believe conditional boost, I believe tap timing bonus damage should count as well. Any damage affecting buff on your crew is extended, so that is awesome. That's the first character that I believe that does that. But that's great. You got to remember that every time you activate the special, you're going to be getting the guaranteed rainbow slots that go through block slots. And it means if you've already got beneficial effects active, you just get them locked for 2 turns. So, like, the enemy can't change them. The only way that they can be, like, removed, I guess, is if you're slot binded, right? So it's pretty crazy. And, of course, they combine for 3 turns with their special ability. So lots of unique abilities we've never seen before being applied in this brand new Super Sugo Fest exclusive, which I love to see. Yeah, this character is just the Unga Bunga rainbow damage unit, you know, boosts all characters. But I love the fact that there are unique effects going on here. That's what I love to see. So already right now, Straw Hat Pirates are looking immensely powerful. Their crewmate effects, all characters get 100 stats, and also they completely avoid special bind as a sub. That's great. They've also got their pinch healing, which is respectable. They've got the perfect buff, and then also they've got their final tap, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But of course, they've got their switch ability. Remember, they are a dual unit at the end of the day, so every time you switch, they get a guaranteed matching slot that goes through block orbs, and they completely remove their own slot bind and their own paralysis. So he said, you know, they don't get, you know, the matching slot if they've got slot bind. Luckily, their swap effect will completely remove it, so that's a huge benefit to the unit. And then they've also got super swap. After 4 swaps, completely remove their own slot bind and paralysis, guaranteed slot through block slots, and then remove 4 turns of paralysis and bind ship ability for 4 turns, right? Like, what? What is that super swap? That super swap is so good, especially if you have double straw hats. You can just remove 4 turns of paralysis, but times that by 2. You get 8 turns of paralysis removal with their super swap. You basically don't have to worry about paralysis. And I mean, bind ship isn't a very useful or very common effect that you'll come up to, but they remove it, so that's pretty cool, right? So, man, Straw Hat's looking good. But then we need to talk about their final tap. There's so much to this unit. The final tap ability will activate as soon as you reach the final battle. And at level 5, it adds 1.2 times the total damage dealt from normal attacks from all of your other characters on top of this character's attack. So this is the first final tap that we've seen in the game that is not focused around that last unit dealing so much damage by themselves. Typically what we've seen is, like, you know, you look at final tap Luffy, Law, Yamato, Kid, right? All of them are focused on that unit doing so much damage. This is the opposite. This character is focusing on the rest of your crew doing as much damage as they possibly can, so that when this character hits last, all of that damage that you've accumulated in that turn is multiplied by 1.2 and added on top of it. So the amount of damage you get from this final tap, I think probably might be the highest in the game, aside from like Final Tap Law, for example, because 30% of like a billion HP is obviously way too much. but generally speaking, this is actually an incredible effect. And I think that this is very underrated. I think a lot of people are going to see this unit and say, yeah, it's the Straw Hats, it's whatever. I think a lot of people are really excited about Roger and Whitebeard. But people need to realize how good this unit actually is. And as I said, there's going to be really smart people, a lot of people smarter than me, that are going to use this character to beat some crazy content. Really looking forward to see those content creators do that. Now, we need to talk about their PvP stuff as well. Let's talk about their special first, because their passive has something incredible. So, 28 CT. Targets teammates in a medium range for level 5 attack buff, pretty respectable. Targets enemies in a large range, horizontal, for 3.5 times their attacker's damage. And targets free spirit class teammates for 100% chance of haste. That is nuts. Do you realize how good that is? It means if you're running a full team of free spirit, after this character launches their special, all of your free spirit characters go to the top of the order. Now look, free spirit characters in PvP aren't the greatest to my recollection, but once they get some pretty broken characters, this is going to be one of the best units to use in PvP for that team. I mean, guaranteeing all of your free spirit characters to go to the top of the order is insane. Like, that's actually way too good. I mean, 28 CT is really good for that as well. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, if you thought that was unbelievable, have a look at their passive. Strength and Dex characters will get speed up level 6 and defense level 3. I don't like the fact that they're a dual unit that boosts colors. They don't even get the boost from it. It's stupid. But your free spirit characters get CT up level 2. And one time during the fight, if you are KO'd, you revive with 50% of your health. Okay, I don't know how good or bad this is going to be, because as I said, free spirit, I don't think they're that good in PvP right now, but oh my god, the first character to ever revive in PvP, like, do you realize how insane that actually is? Now, one thing that we have to know is that when they revive, do they keep the CT that they actually had? Because if they do, oh my god. Like, imagine if you're about to launch their special, and he dies, but he comes back, he has his CT, he launches, and all your free spirit characters go to the top, and you literally win because he revives. Like, I could just imagine that happening, and it would be amazing. So I just really want to get my hands on this unit because he looks like a bunch of fun. So that's the Straw Hat Pirates, man. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section on the Straw Hat Pirates, because at the moment they look incredible, man. They look so good. All right, it's about that time, guys. We've got to talk about the big daddy himself, Goldie Roger and Edward Newgate. Let's talk about the guy that a lot of people have been looking forward to, Roger and Whitebeard. Now, of course, they are a dual unit. They are not a versus unit. I wish they were a versus unit. It is what it is. I don't control these things. Roger is an int slasher striker. Interesting. And Roger's captain ability in the solo form of the dual unit boosts slasher and striker characters' attack by 5 times, 1.2 health, makes int and psi slots beneficial, and also reduces bind, paralysis, and special bind, all by 1 turn as the captain. Now, the utility is good, but it's not broken from what we've seen from other units. But still, just having a passive effect of resisting 1 turn of paralysis, bind, special bind, should I say, and bind and paralysis, all that stuff. That's good. Like, that's a good effect, and that's going to come into play. Like, sometimes you just need that extra turn of removal, and this character can provide that, which is good. Now, that's fine and all, but let's have a look at Whitebeard. Now, Whitebeard is pretty similar. 5 times attack to slasher and strikers, 1.2 health. However, Whitebeard boosts his own attack by 5.25 times instead, and then also int and psi are beneficial to slasher and striker characters. So that's the thing. Whitebeard gets a little bonus damage for himself, but he doesn't have the utility that Roger has. So I do think that Roger is the better captain because the passive utility is way better. And like, I mean, like, you still got 5 times captain. It's not like you're losing out on that much damage by one unit having 0.25 extra. It's whatever. Roger definitely has the better captain effect, in my opinion. Dual form, they get access to their amazing dual captain effect that will boost the attack of slasher and striker characters by 5.5 times, with a 1.2 health, inside matching, and the utility effect of Roger's captain effect. The first 5.5 times multiplier boost that we've had in the game. Now remember, all of these buffs are great. You are restricted to Slasher and Striker. So keep that in mind. You are restricted to those 2 classes, but those 2 classes are hitting for really, really big numbers. That's a great captain effect, man. It's so good. But let's have a look at their special ability. Now, the interesting thing here is that you actually have different effects that activate depending on who launches their special ability. Now, this is something that we haven't seen in a long time. The last unit that actually did this, if I remember correctly, is Luffy and Law, which is like the first like dual legend to arrive in the game. So it's crazy that we had to wait this long for a unit that does this. Anyways, Roger's special ability, when you launch it, will reduce 20 turns of despair, and then increases the effect of an attack boost up to 3 times. Now, if I remember correctly, or at least if I'm getting this right, what it means is that any attack boost that you currently have automatically is buffed to a 3 times boost instead. If you've got even a 1.25 times attack boost, it gets buffed to a 3 times boost after you launch the special ability. So this does mean that if you've got, you know, a unit that would give you a higher attack boost, it basically does nothing. Like Toki, for example, like Toki gives you a 3.5 attack and all boost to those 2 units. I don't think it reduces it. I think it is what it is. I don't think it reduces a buffed attack boost, but any low attack boost is brought up to a 3 times boost instead. That's absolutely wicked. And then it also will boost any color affinity that you have by plus 0.5. So if you got a 2 times color affinity, it goes to 2.5 when you launch a Roger's special. And then obviously they fuse for 3 turns into their dual unit. So that's Roger's special. And then Newgate is a bit different. 20 turns of despair removal once again, but it gives you a 2 times color affinity boost to your slasher and strikers, and then we'll do the same thing as Roger. Instead of doing it for attack boost, it does it for orb boost instead. Buffs it from whatever it was to a 3 times boost instead, and then they fuse for 3 turns. So you can see that you're supposed to use 2 of them together and buff attack and orb boost to 3 times. You can use Roger to buff Whitebeard's color affinity from a 2 times to a 2.5 times. So with double Roger, you can get 3 times attack, 3 times orbs, and a 2.5 times affinity boost. And plus you have the added utility of their captain effects and 20 turns despair removal. Like, yikes, man. This character is a monster, an absolute monster. But we have not done yet. Crewmate effects, Int and Psi are beneficial to those 2 classes. They give a bit of stats to those units as well. We've got their swap effect. Now, this swap effect might be the best swap effect in the game. I mean, generically, I mean, there's probably others that will give you more damage in the long run, but I mean, this is so good, right? Changes adjacent slots into matching and then boosts the crew's attack and slot effects by 1.5 for 1 turn. So it's essentially Shank's crew's swap effect, but on crack, because not only do you get the attack boost, but you also get the orb boost on top of it. I mean, getting attack and orbs on top of guaranteeing you some matching slots as well. Yay. And remember that you can use their swap effect. You get the 1.5 attack and orb boost, which, I mean, with a 5 times captain, that's going to help you get through a lot of content. But after you use their special ability, the attack and orb boost that you get, they're going to be buffed. So, yeah, they just do it by themselves, which is incredible. And then you've got their super swap. After 6 turns, their swap changes all slots into matching, and then gives you 2 times attack and 2 times orb boost for 1 turn. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't get around block slots, so you will still have to find a way around that. But the fact that it still provides that is really good on a super swap. This character as a crewmate or as a captain is going to be immensely powerful. So good. Now, their potential abilities will get 10 turns of slotbind removal. They also have the critical hit, 10% damage boost, which is good, and they've got the final tap. Let's have a look at their final tap, which of course activates as soon as you enter the final stage. Level 5 changes their own slot, including block, into matching, so at least there's that. They get a guaranteed slot on themselves, and then further boost the chain multiplier of their last attack by 4. Meaning that, you know, if your last attack is a 2.5 times chain, which is what it regularly is, it goes to a 6.5 times chain. This is going to be nuts. You know, stacking, you know, chain boundary, chain boosts, chain multipliers on top of this, and then you've got their final tap. It just does so much damage. Even at level 1, they still get the guaranteed matching slot at level 1 and a 2.0 buff to the chain at level 1. Roger and Whitebeard are exceptional, right? Alright, we need to go ahead and have a look at their PvP abilities. So the passive effect of Roger and Whitebeard is going to give slasher characters level 5 health and level 5 attack, and also your sign int characters get level 5 speed increase. So again, weird that, you know, as a dual unit they buff sign int, but remember, for a slasher team you've got like Wano Law, you've got Doflamingo, you've got Kizaru, all sign int characters that get that speed buff. So that's a nice addition at least. But, you know, even to the slasher characters, level 5 HP, level 5 attack, it's still an incredible passive. And then their special ability, which is probably one of the best specials in the game, slasher characters get level 6 attack, targets all enemies for a 30% health, cut, and also targets 2 enemies specifically, and it ignores defense and does 2 times their attacker's damage. And also, if their special is launched in the first 40 seconds, they remove the team's attack down and speed down with a 50% chance. Like, it's just a bit of a weird, you know, kind of effect there. I wonder if that counts for half stats. If that counts for half stats as well, that's actually broken. I don't think it will, though. But overall, I'm impressed with this unit in PvP, right? This is a very, very strong unit. So that's the breakdown of Roger and Whitebeard. I think they are one of the best legends in the game, along with the Straw Hats. Both of them are just incredible legends. But we're not done, guys. Just when you thought it was all over, we have a brand new Super Evolution arriving into the game. Odin is going to be receiving his Super Evolution. Like, I can't believe that they decided to give Odin a Super Evolution, dude. 6+ Odin. Now, look, the thing about it is his ink effect looks so good. I'm going to pull it up right now for you guys. You guys need to see this. It is so good. Have a look at this, man. Bruh, this... I just get so happy looking at this. Odin 6+. He looks so good. Alright, so he's a strength / a free spirit. Captain effect will boost the crew's attack by 4.5, HP by 1.5, and then boost the crew's attack by 5 times if they have a Wano slot. And also, Dex and Tandem slots now become Wano slots as a captain. So this is a big buff to Odin, because previously he didn't naturally generate Wano slots. Now he does provide that. And also, he's not boosting just strength units if they've got a Wano slot. Now all characters can get the buff from his captain effect. So big changes here for Odin. His special ability is the same. The only thing that they have changed is instead of being a 2.5 times orb boost, it's going to be a 2.75 times orb boost. Still an incredible special ability. But another thing that is kind of overlooked is his super type special. His super type special actually got buffed. It will now boost the top row character's base attack by 1000 and changes the top row character slots through block into Wano. Previously, it was only just for Odin himself, but now with his super type special, it's for both characters, for both captains. So that's a huge buff to the unit as well, being able to allow both of your captains hit extremely hard with that super type special. So again, like, I think they've done a really good job with this unit, man. I mean, his PvP stuff also got kind of buffed. I mean, he's buffing slasher and strength units, and then his special does 2500 fixed damage to enemies in a large range rather than 1500, and he does 2.5 times attack instead of 2 times attack, and it's a level 8 attack buff instead of a level 7 attack buff. So this, alongside the new Roger and Whitebeard character for slasher teams, dude, I cannot wait to make a video with that. Slasher teams are going to be so insane now, dude. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. So now that it's all been done, let me know your thoughts and opinions on all the new characters coming out right now down below in the comment section. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.